Hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Miska and today we are back with the part two to my cringiest video. At least it is for me. I'm going to be reacting to my cringiest video, and if you have been around, you know which one I'm talking about, okay? We're talking about pornography, masturbation, cringy thing to talk about, but hey, we gotta talk about it. So let's get into it. So I think it is very important to share this part of my testimony, because if you are familiar with my testimony, you would know that I made the decision to remain a virgin until marriage. But even though I made that decision, and you may think, wow, she did such a great thing, but I do want you to know that the absence of one sin does not mean that there is not an absence of others. And before making this, that's a good point, girl. That's a good point. So my whole reason for wanting to react to this video and kind of do like a part two is because I feel like I did not close off the video well. Also, you grow, you get more language to put behind stuff. And so I feel like now I have the language that I didn't have then. And maybe next year I have some more language and insight to the situation as well. But I just wanted to add to it and make it more full in content or whatever, and hopefully help others. That the reason that I created that first video, if you're familiar with my testimony, you would know that a large amount of it has to do with me then being a virgin and trying to navigate desiring relationship, affection, and companionship. So while it was good that I was, not participating in sex, I was still participating in sexual things that I should not have been participating in. And what I'm basically saying there is, I thought that because I was not doing the real thing, like actually with another person, I tried to minimize the weight of what I was doing. I was like, okay, it's only me. I'm not really doing anything with anybody else, so it shouldn't be that bad. God is not going to be upset with me because at least I'm not doing the real thing. When, God's word is God's word. If he say, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey, then that's what it is. For a person or a girl or a guy like myself who says, hey, I'm not doing the real thing, but I'm behind closed doors by myself in my own privacy, I'ma just, take care of myself there. That is just as wrong as doing it with another person. All right, let's keep going. At the age of 15, I will say that I was not unfamiliar with pornography. As a child, I definitely stumbled across pornographic videos and images, and I would definitely say that that was the first seed that was planted, but it wasn't really explored into great detail until I became a teenager with access to the World Wide Web and a good old Zane book, okay? And I know y'all remember those Zane books with those crazy stories, but those very vivid sex scenes. Yes, it got to a point where I was actually even skipping over the story just to get to the sex scene, trying to see what was going on in that part. Ratchet, I know. But in those times, it definitely became a daily ritual for me to come home from school, get on the internet, and if no one was around, watch me some pornography. And in high school is where I would say my curiosity peaked. My friends were having experiences that I was curious about, and I come from a fairly liberal home when it comes to sex, and so I was able to approach my mom and ask her anything, and sometimes she... So I want to come in right here and speak about I would say pornography being the standard. A lot of times we do not get the right knowledge and understanding about sex, and so pop culture, pornography, a peer who is a child as well and don't know nothing about nothing when it comes to sex, those things become the standard. And when you get into a real relationship, trying to practice intimacy, vulnerability, and sex in a healthy way, I feel like that becomes a hindrance. When we do not educate about sex the right way and leave sex to be taught by pornography, other children our own age, or a chick flick movie, like, I feel like that is just horrible. And that's one of the things I feel like hindered me when I got married. So I'll just keep going here. She even shared stuff with me, not to say that that is healthy, but it's what, you know, I came up in. And so if I had a question, I could ask her. I didn't feel shameful in asking. I knew my mama was gonna give me the real. She was gonna tell me what was going on. But as a child, that's still not enough sometimes. Sometimes, you know, we want to get in there for ourselves and see what's going on. I just want to stop right there and say shout out to my mama. Shout out to my mama, girl. You was a real one, okay? I'm sure she probably not gonna watch this because I don't know. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. But it is kind of cringy, so I doubt that she watched it. I'm grateful that she created an environment where I could ask questions comfortably and didn't have to look to anyone else to get my questions answered. I feel like that is something that everybody should implement, because having everybody else but you teach your child about something so sacred is kind of ghetto. If you ask me, it's real ghetto. And so I just want to encourage others and thank my mother for doing that. Because, you know, children, we gonna be curious anyway. However, her being able to be open with me about sex allowed me to remain a virgin for 26 years. I was not pressed to experience sex as a child because I had a mama who was letting me know, you know, the ins and outs. And I also had a made up mind about what I wanted to do regarding sex as well. So although I did participate in pornography, I feel like my mother being so open with me helped to subside, I guess, the eagerness to experience sex as a child. So shout out to you, girl. All right. And so that's what I did. I will say that my mom, she definitely encouraged safe sex. But other than that, there was no real standard for sex. Sex was not discussed with spirituality. And so, yeah, there was no real standard. It was just make sure it's safe. You know what I mean? And so I will say that she definitely encouraged me when I came to her and let her know that I was not going to be partaking in sex until marriage. She was very encouraging, but I don't feel like she would have seen anything wrong with me having it, you know, at the correct age or whatnot. And y'all, I am definitely the type of person that has to research a topic to death before I execute anything. And I would say as a young person, I was like that as well. That's why I would always ask my mom questions, ask my friends questions. And like I said, eventually that got old, I guess. It's only so much a person can tell you. It's only so much you can ask your mama about sex. And then my mama was a real one, so she was like, don't you ask your friends. Your friends, they don't know nothing about nothing. You come to me and ask me if you got a problem. Or wait, I love how consistent I am, because I just said a little while ago, kids don't know nothing about nothing. And I haven't watched this video in a long time. I'm consistent, okay? I don't be faking the phone. What I say is what I say. Okay, anyway. But it's only so much that you can really ask your mama about sex before, you know, it's like, okay, girl, we've reached the peak of this. You know what I mean? And so I definitely took matters into my own hands. And to be honest, it was also satisfying. I did find it satisfying to watch the things that I was watching. And I also just had this mentality at maybe 16, 17 that, you know what, even though I am a virgin and I'm not going to be having sex until marriage, when I get married, honey, my husband is not going to be able to tell, okay? I'm going to be being that thing back, tooting it up, you know, whatever I got to do. Girl, OMG, okay. Not me actually leaning up the big bag. Okay, anyway. I don't even know what I want to say no more. Oh, I did want to say something about feeling like you have to know all the tricks to the trade of sex before you actually have it. That is like one thing that I wish I had not had in my mind. I'm naturally an overachiever. And sometimes to my detriment, because I was trying to watch pornography to be a pro at sex. As a child, like having that mindset, like I don't want to not know what I'm doing, so let me watch this so that I can learn and not be green or whatever. When that is so horrible. Now that I have, you know, become an adult and have experienced sex and experienced it with, you know, with one person or whatever, sex, you do not have to be a pro to have sex, okay? Sex is so sacred. You trying to watching pornography to learn how to be a pro for sex is not really helpful, because just because Danny likes this, that don't mean that you're gonna get over here and James gonna like it too. We are all different. What rocks somebody else's boat might not rock your boat, and what rock his boat might not rock his boat. So I say that to say, trying to generalize everything, like your best trick, you're gonna be mad because James don't like that, like homeboy did over here. You know, you know what I mean? Like he don't like that. So learn the person that you are with, the person that you are in covenant with. That's who you should be learning, and that's who he should be learning you as well. It should not be a situation where you feel like you just gotta get with this person and it gotta be the best time they ever had so that you can look like you know what you're doing. It's okay. It's okay. I promise it's okay. You do not have to be a pro at sex on your first time. I wish that I would have not had that mentality. I mean, I'm human. I was a kid, so you know, it is what it is. However, looking back on that, I just wish I would have sat down somewhere and I wish somebody would have told me that sex is super sacred. It's not just a sport, you know, that you out here doing with him, them, and her. Or, you know, it's not. It should be between one man, one woman. And it's okay to learn in that space. It's okay to not be great at it. It's a such thing called learning, you know, that takes place when you get with the person that you are supposed to be with. And don't try to generalize these little and learn these little tricks that you feel like is gonna, you know, set you a step above. It's okay to come to that situation as you are, and it should be a safe place where you are encouraged and where you feel safe to be your authentic self and learn. And I hope that I'm explaining this correctly. All right, let's move on. So he won't regret his decision in getting with me being a virgin. You see how, like, I don't know, I guess it's just society and how it tells you have to be cool with this, you have to perform well sexually for anyone to be interested in you. And so even though I did make that decision to remain a virgin until marriage, I still had in my back of my mind, like, wow, will this be good enough for someone? You know what I mean? So yeah, just a testament to how society tries to taint and twist our minds and to put ideas there that are not God-like at all. So this carried on lightly until I reached the age of 20. And when I reached 20, y'all, that's when it like kind of skyrocketed through the roof. I don't know, I guess I just thought I was grown and could do whatever I wanted to do. And so that's what I did. It went from me watching pornography just in spare time to just watching it for flat out entertainment, just hours upon hours of watching pornography. It was also at this age where I started implementing and incorporating, listen at me, incorporating and implementing. It was also this time where I started masturbating as well. And so masturbation, it didn't really come into play until I was 20. Am I supposed to be telling y'all this? Lord. Help. Okay. But yeah, it was at that time when I started incorporating masturbation. I wasn't born again at this time, and so I really didn't see anything wrong with what I was doing. I just really thought that it was commendable that I was even a virgin, okay, compared to what everybody else out here doing. I know God ain't mad at me about this because I'm up here a whole virgin. I ain't did nothing with nobody. I ain't seen nothing. I mean, in person, I haven't seen anything, but I'm good, okay? I'm good because I'm not actually doing it. I'm just watching other people doing it, okay? God, you ain't mad with that, are you? So yeah, that's what my mind was. And like I said, because I don't feel like I did a good job doing that the first time I made this video. So I just want to speak to how watching pornography, although I was not, you know, participating in sex with another person, I was, you know, whatever, how it was a hindrance for me, what made it wrong. Number one is I allowed pornography to be my standard, and it distorted my view of what it was supposed to look like. And by that, I mean, when pornography comes on, people just walk into the room, get to it, and they be acting like it's the best thing that they ever had. Like, oh my God, this person just did such a great job. And so when you get in the real thing, when the real thing comes, you feeling like, okay, so this is about to happen. It's just going to be so great because that's how it showed on the movie, you know, and that's not true. Like I just said a while ago, you have to learn the person that you're with. And being married, that's one of the things that kind of hindered me. I thought it was supposed to look like this because this is what I've been watching for so long and it's effortless for them. However, I'm getting over here and it's not effortless. And the main reason that it was not effortless is because I don't know what I like. And so I'm over here watching them on this video, seeing what they like and what gets them aroused. However, when I get over here, all I have been doing is consuming and watching. I don't know what I like. I can't verbally tell this person, or not this person, my husband. I can't verbally tell the person I'm with, you know, what I like. I'm just kind of handicapped in this. Verbally, I'm handicapped. And that's a place where you do not want to be, verbally handicapped when it comes to what you like, because you will experience the same thing that I experienced in the beginning of my marriage. I felt super caught off guard because what was effortless for them over here, it was not effortless for me. But the main reason it wasn't is because I didn't know what I wanted, what I liked. I did not know how to communicate that to him. And so, yes, don't get caught up in what they doing. My camera went dead, so not sure where I left off. However, don't let pornography be the standard. Have the conversations with the mentor, the parent that you need to have it with, so that you don't allow your own curiosity to lead and pave the way for you. Because it ain't it. It's not it. All right, let's continue. I was really watching pornography for hours at a time, like every night, hours upon hours, just watching it. Sometimes even till wee hours in the morning. And it got to a point where I actually thought that I was addicted to it. I had started having urges to even watch it in public, at work, on a break. Like, it was just a lot. Pornography became my sex education. So eventually I did rededicate my life to God, and I was able to see, the error in my ways, in that I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be watching this. I'm not supposed to be masturbating. Was I able to pull away from it? Absolutely not. Even to this day, I still struggle with thoughts of it from watching it for so many years. And so in a perfect world, I would definitely have loved to been able to cut it off cold turkey. But I cannot lie, like, it has not been until recently where I have been able to draw back and pull away from it. One thing I do want to point out is that earlier I said that, when you're doing that, you think that you're not harming anyone, so you should be okay. It's just you, it's just yourself, you're just watching something. But it's important to know that although you don't see the immediate effects of your actions and wrongdoings, that does not mean that it will not affect you down the line. And I forget what I was about to say the first time. Oh no. But we'll just go with what I just said. Well, going back to, I was able to see the error in my ways. What I mean by that is, like, first and foremost, the Bible says that if you even look at a woman or a man with lustful eyes, that is even a sin. So the same applies for pornography. You're looking at pornography with lust, with, a desire in your heart, and you're trying to get pleasure from that. And so that translates, whether it's in person or whether you're watching a video. So that's what I mean by it being wrong and not something that we should be doing. In addition, when I say that I let pornography become the standard for me, it became my sex education. Child, tomato, throwing tomatoes, okay? Because those are actors. And I'm not sure if I touch on that in this video, but those are actors, child. They is being paid. At the end of the day, when they get up from their bed or wherever they at, they finna get a check for what they just did. And I'm up there trying to base my whole little whatever off of what they did, trying to let what they are doing set the trajectory for my sex life, and they finna get a check after that. They just got paid to act like that was the best sex that they ever had in their whole life. And here I am up here taking that on as my own and feeling like, okay, that's what it's going to be like for me when I'm watching two people or whatever act to make money. Acting like they have chemistry. Acting like they know what each other like. Just acting, child, just acting. And then when it was time for me to be in that space, I was had it in my mind that if I don't know, this is a little touchy. I don't know how much is too much, but I mean I do, but whatever. I feel like, okay, if I'm not screaming real loud, then I'm not doing it right, because that's what they had going on in the movie. And if it's not happening for me that way, something isn't right. It's just too much. It's too much, and you should not base your sex life off of what somebody else is being paid to make look good. At the end of the day, they don't say sex sells for no reason. At the end of the day, they are selling sex. They are trying to sell it and make you purchase it, make you consume it, make you go down the rabbit hole and watch it all day, or whatever the case may be. They're selling something. Okay? It's not just, oh, let's link up and have sex and show people how much of a great time that we are having, and so that they can, learn and do some things themselves. No, that's why you see so many of the same people in in the same movies. These people got agents. These people got managers. They're scheduling sex. Okay? If you sat down with the people that performed in the movies and they were real with you about the pleasure that they received and whether or not it was good or whatever, you would be surprised, because they are not there to receive pleasure from someone who loves them, honors them, cherishes them. They are there to act like this is the best thing ever, to sell a movie so that they can get paid, and so that the production company can get paid, their manager can get paid, their agent can get paid. It's people that's getting checks behind the pornography that you watching and setting your whole life's uh and setting your whole life's sex, sexcapades up for. Don't allow pornography to distort your view of what real covenant sex is. I'm glad I rewinded it. I have seen some comments recently down in, the comment section of this video that we're watching, and it is where somebody said something like, I pray and it doesn't work, and it actually feels like, the desire increases, and it just, it's larger than life or whatever. And I commented as well, the same thing for me. When I realized that I was not, that was something that I should not have been doing, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, Lord, take it away, take it away, take it away. But what I found is that it's up to me. For me, this is what worked for me. This is what, something that I came to the realization of. I'm not saying that this is going to work for everybody, or that this is what you should be doing. Everybody, different strokes for different folks. So I'm just giving a little insight into my thought process regarding the whole thing. I just realized that I was praying, Lord, take it away, Lord, take it away, Lord, take it away. And like the comment said, the desire increased. I started wanting to watch it more. I started watching it more. And so I say that to say, we have to make conscious decisions every day. We are, the battle that we are fighting is spiritual. And so everything requires our yes or our no. And it came a time for me to realize that, you know what, this is not just going to magically go away. This desire, it's a natural desire to, want to be sexual. That's a God thing. So there's nothing wrong with that. However, it has to be within the right parameters, or within the right, there has to be the right stipulations behind it or whatever. It's not going to just magically go away. You have to make conscious decisions. You have to get in front of it. You have to make uncomfortable calls. You have to be accountable. It really helps when you do not struggle with this in the dark, behind closed doors. You have to get an accountability partners are so vital. Sometimes you might have to get on the phone like, hey, I'm really wanting to do this. You know, can you talk to me for a little bit? Or whatever the case may be, you got to go out your way, because it's so easy to give in, especially with something like that. That's something that you do behind closed doors anyway. So if you don't have anybody to hold you accountable, to check in on you, to see your activity on your phone, or whatever the case may be, it's likely that you're going to fall into that temptation. So, moral of the story, we have to learn to make those decisions of quality even when the flesh rises up. And sometimes that will look like involving other people. People that you trust, of course. But that's something that I think I tried to stress in this video, was to go out of your way to do the right thing. So I guess go out of your way. You have to go out of your way. If that is something that you really desire to stop doing, to let go, then you definitely have to go out of your way to bring it to an end. I believe that faith without works is dead. The Bible says it. So I had faith. I had faith that that's something that I could stop doing. However, I have to work at it as well. It's not just the devil ain't just letting nobody oh, well, he's done with this pornography, or she's done with this pornography now. I'll leave her alone. I won't tempt her or tempt him. He ain't letting up, okay? So it comes a time where you have to, like, the saying, desperate times calls for desperate measures. Sometimes you just gotta do. And letting God speak to you about what you need to do to get ahead of it, to allow others to hold you accountable, whatever it is that you need to do, But just work at it. Don't think that this is something that's just going to wash over you. Now, some people that might happen, and I wish it was like that easy for the rest of us. But for those that are still struggling in spite of not wanting to deal with that monster, sit with God and allow him to pour into you, or find a friend or someone else who is struggling with the same thing, or someone else that's not, that wouldn't mind being your accountability partner. Sometimes you just got to do the uncomfortable. All right, let's continue. That I was having, and I wish that I had yielded. I wish that I would have yielded myself to those thoughts, because a few more years down the line, I meet my now husband, and I don't have no standard or good foundation for sex. It's all based off of pornography. And the problem with that is that pornography is not real. These are paid actors. They have to make it look like this is the best sex that they have ever had on purpose, okay, for the check, okay? They got to get their check. So I was really in a situation, because here I am, have not had sex myself before, but have been looking to pornography for the standard of sex. Then when I finally do have this in real life, it doesn't live up to this standard that these paid actors were made to look like it was, and now I am unfulfilled. All because my foundation was not correct. So whenever we're not connecting the way that I'm expecting us to connect based off of the pornography that I have watched. I'm thinking it's a me and him problem. However, it's a mindset problem. I've been looking at the wrong stuff, letting the wrong stuff teach me and be my foundation for sex. So that's what I was talking about earlier. So my husband and I, we are on like our 3rd year of marriage, and it's definitely been a struggle, child. This has not been a walk in the park. It has not been easy peasy. It has been hard. It has been hard for him, hard for me, and focus on pornographic images when I'm trying to connect with my husband, because that's what I let replay in my mind for so many years that now I'm trying to connect with my man. my man. And you know, it's thoughts from pornography trying to infiltrate the situation. Then he's feeling like he's, you know, not meeting my needs. However, I don't know what my needs are because I just know what I saw. I just know what I saw. I didn't have I wasn't experiencing it myself. And so that, in combination with not really having anyone teach me that, hey, sex is something that's supposed to be learned. You don't have to come to it knowing what to do. However, once you do get in that space, learn what you like, verbalize what you like, and that will benefit you and that will work for you. Communicate what you like, learn what you like, and verbalize it. And don't be scared to verbalize it, because that's one of the things that really hindered me. Not being sexually active and then all of a sudden being sexually active and then having to tell somebody what you know, what you prefer is a whole nother beast in itself. And so, yeah, have conversations about sex with trusted people that have your best interests. Me not knowing what I like, just knowing what I saw and thinking that what I saw was supposed to be manifested in my bedroom. So yeah, clarification. It's just something that I really regret, you know. What I will say that has helped in this situation is definitely talking about it to other people. A lot of times with pornography, we like to keep it so close to us, so secretive and covered up, and not let anybody know. I mean, not that you are supposed to be letting anybody know, but it is wrong. And so if we are trying to come out of it, the word of God says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So talk about it. Tell a close friend. Get an accountability partner. Download software on your phone to hold you accountable. The main thing that has really helped me with coming out of it, and like I said, even to this day, I still struggle. But what has really helped is talking about it. Talking about it and getting that secretive nature off of it. The more you shed light on it, the darkness has to go. And you will be able to resist more. You have to constantly shed light on it. You have to constantly speak about it. You have to get counsel. You have to go to great lengths to be delivered from it. Just the great lengths that you go to watch it in secret and keep it under wraps, you have to do the same thing to come out of it. And no matter how embarrassing it is, no matter how shame you might feel, you have to do what's best for you. And if you really want to be free from it, those are just things that you have to do. I mean, do y'all think I want to be up here telling y'all my business? No, I don't. But I'm trying to get set free from this thing, okay? I do not want to be like, when I'm looking at stuff that I have done, checking out, you know, old content of mine. That's one video I'll be like, no. Sex, pornography, masturbation, those are such touchy subjects. However, I really wish that they were not, because sex is a God thing and it's natural. Education, if we don't teach each other, if the church does not teach church, Lord, if the church does not teach sex, then we leave it up to the world to teach it. And that's where child awards get real murky, because they just doing whatever they want to do. And we can't be out here just doing what we want to do in regard to sex. We have to do it the God way. And the purpose of that video was to show how, although I was, partially doing things God's way by abstaining or being celibate, or by trying to be celibate until marriage. Let me clarify. By trying to be celibate until marriage, I was still, not doing things completely right. Number one is, although you may not be doing it right out, any type of sexual activity is wrong until you are married. Now, when you're married, do your thing, whatever y'all comfortable with, do you. However, whatever y'all comfortable with and whatever, God is not convicting y'all about, do you. However, someone who was not having sex, allowed pornography to be my standard for sex, which hindered me because sex is not real. Lord, sex is not real. Pornography is not real. They are paid actors. And I don't have the language myself to be able to comfortably verbalize to my husband what I like, what I prefer. So I was torn in between not being able to speak about sex comfortably and then thinking that what I saw was supposed to be the answer. If that makes sense. Just to sum this whole thing up. And we are not supposed to be looking on to others sexually, that's wrong. And yeah. So I hope that this little wrap up or reaction video brought more insight. I hope that it did. If y'all have any other questions, any other topics that y'all want to talk about regarding sex, I'm willing, to talk about it, because it needs to be talked about. Those type of conversations just need to be had, because I don't want my experience for anybody, child. Feeling like you have to be perfect sexually. Like, that don't even make sense. Feeling like you got to be perfect sexually before you even have sex. Like, girl, calm down. You're doing too much. Thank you for watching this video. Comment below. Tell me what you thought. Questions, comments, concerns are all welcomed. Like the video if you have not already. And until next time, you guys.